There's a certain kind of person you meet in life who seems to forgive almost anything. The friend who says, "It's okay, don't worry about it," even when it clearly isn't. The partner who gives one more chance for the 10th time. The sibling who keeps the family together by smoothing over arguments that never really get resolved. And maybe, if you're honest, that person is you. You're the one who says, "It's fine," when it hurt. The one who reaches out first after a fight. The one who chooses peace over pride, understanding over revenge. People might even admire you for it. "You have such a big heart," they say. "You're so forgiving." But deep down, there are days you wonder, why do I always forgive? Is it strength? Is it love? Or am I just afraid of what happens if I don't? On the surface, forgiveness looks simple. Someone does something wrong. They apologize, or maybe they don't. You decide to let it go. End of story. But for people who always forgive, it's not that simple. Forgiveness isn't just a choice they make. It's a pattern, a reflex, a way of being in the world. And the psychology behind it goes much deeper than just being the bigger person. Imagine a child growing up in a home where conflict feels dangerous. Voices are raised, doors are slammed, the air in the room goes sharp and heavy. The child quickly learns that the safest thing to do is calm it all down. Apologize. Take the blame. Smooth it over. That child grows up with a nervous system that treats harmony like survival. Peace isn't just nice. It feels necessary. So when they become an adult, they carry that instinct with them. They forgive fast, not because they don't feel hurt, but because prolonged tension feels worse than the pain itself. Forgiveness becomes a kind of emotional first aid. Stop the bleeding. Seal the wound. Pretend the cut isn't as deep as it is. But that's only one story. There is another kind of person who always forgives, and their motivation comes from somewhere softer, but just as powerful: empathy. These are the people who, even while being hurt, can't help but see the pain in the person who hurt them. They understand context. They see the stress, the trauma, the fear behind the behavior. While others see, how could they do that? The forgiver sees, what must they be carrying to act that way? Their mind doesn't stop at the action. It travels further into the history, the wounds, the upbringing, the pressure. And once they understand, it becomes incredibly hard for them to hold on to anger. Not because what happened was okay, but because hatred feels heavy and empathy feels familiar. For them, forgiveness isn't about pretending it didn't matter. It's about saying, "I see more than just what you did." It's an emotional lens, always zooming out, always looking for the bigger picture. Then there is the person who always forgives because they are terrified of losing people. For them, the thought of someone walking away feels worse than any pain caused by staying. They may have experienced abandonment in the past. Maybe a parent left. Maybe a friend disappeared. Maybe someone stopped talking to them with no explanation. Somewhere along the way, they learned a painful lesson. If I don't forgive, I'll be left alone. So they forgive quickly. They excuse behavior that crosses their boundaries. They give second chances, third chances, endless chances, because the idea of saying enough feels like stepping into emptiness. For them, forgiveness is not just kindness. It's self-protection disguised as understanding. You can see how these patterns form. Conflict feels dangerous, forgive to restore peace. Empathy is strong, forgive to honor complexity. Abandonment is terrifying, forgive to keep people close. From the outside, it all looks like one thing. You're so forgiving. From the inside, it's 1,000 small calculations happening beneath the surface. But here's the part that rarely gets talked about. People who always forgive often carry a quiet, complicated pain. They understand everybody else, but rarely feel understood themselves. They're the emotional buffer in relationships. The one who bends more. The one who lets go faster. The one who makes room for others' mistakes, insecurities, and outbursts. And because they're so good at making emotional space for others, people begin to assume they're fine, unshakable, strong enough to handle anything. But forgiving doesn't mean it didn't hurt. Letting go doesn't mean it didn't leave a mark. People who always forgive often carry scars that no one else can see. Because they covered the wound so quickly, everyone thought it healed. Psychologically, forgiveness does something powerful to the mind. When it comes from a healthy place, it can reduce stress, lower resentment, ease anxiety, and help people move forward. The brain actually benefits when we release grudges. Holding on to anger keeps our stress response activated. Letting go can calm the body, soften the nervous system, create emotional space for joy. But this is where we need to draw an important line. Healthy forgiveness and self-erasing forgiveness are not the same. Healthy forgiveness sounds like, I choose to let go of this anger so I can heal, but I also choose not to let this pattern repeat. Self-erasing forgiveness sounds like, I'll forgive you and pretend I don't need anything in return. One protects your heart, the other quietly empties it. People who always forgive sometimes fall into a subtle trap. They equate forgiveness with staying, with enduring, with continuing as if nothing happened. But forgiveness does not always mean reconciliation. You can forgive someone and still step back. You can forgive someone and still hold them accountable. You can forgive someone and still decide this version of the relationship is no longer safe for you. The psychology of people who always forgive often includes a deep discomfort with boundaries. Not because they don't know what hurt them, but because drawing a line feels like betrayal. They worry that saying, "This isn't okay," makes them less kind, less loving, less loyal. Yet boundaries are not the opposite of forgiveness. They are what make forgiveness sustainable. Without boundaries, forgiveness slowly turns into self-abandonment. You keep overlooking the same behavior, and in the process, you start to disappear from your own life. Your needs grow quieter. Your voice grows softer. Your pain gets rationalized away. I know they didn't mean it. They were just stressed. They've been through so much. It's probably my fault too. These thoughts may be compassionate, but when they are used against yourself, they stop being kindness and start being self-neglect. And still, there is something undeniably beautiful in people who always forgive. They believe in second chances, not because they're naive, but because they know people are complex. They understand that humans are messy, that everyone is carrying something, that mistakes are woven into the way we learn, break, grow, repair. Their forgiving nature is often rooted in a deep internal vow. I don't want to be the reason someone feels condemned forever. Maybe they remember a time when they themselves were forgiven, when someone saw the worst in them and didn't walk away, when compassion, not punishment, turned them into a better person. And so they forgive, hoping that their softness will help others grow. Sometimes it does. Sometimes their forgiveness is the light that helps someone change. Other times, it simply enables the same behavior to repeat. That's the difficult reality. Forgiveness is powerful, but it is not magical. It cannot replace accountability. It cannot substitute self-respect. It cannot turn someone into who you wish they would be. So where does this leave the person who always forgives? Somewhere between strength and exhaustion. Somewhere between heart and history. Somewhere between who they are and who they're afraid to be if they stop forgiving. But there's another way to look at it. Imagine forgiveness as a gift you primarily give to yourself, not to the other person. Not a way of saying, what you did is fine, but a way of saying, what you did will not define me. In this way, forgiveness stops being a way to keep someone in your life and starts being a way to keep your own heart free. You let go of the constant replaying, the mental arguments, the imagined revenge. Not because they deserve peace, but because you do. For people who always forgive, the real journey is not about stopping forgiveness. It's about pairing forgiveness with self-respect. It's learning to say, I forgive you, and this is where my limit is. I understand your pain, and I also honor mine. I wish you healing, but I need distance. I can let go of the anger without letting go of myself. That is forgiveness with a backbone, mercy with boundaries, compassion with clarity. And for many lifelong forgivers, this shift doesn't happen in one dramatic moment. It happens slowly. The first time they don't immediately say, it's okay. The first time they allow silence instead of rushing to make things normal. The first time they admit, no, that actually hurt me more than I let on. It can feel uncomfortable, wrong, even, like they're betraying their own nature. But they're not. They're expanding it. Because at its core, the psychology of people who always forgive is rooted in something undeniably human. A deep desire for peace, connection, and understanding. Their forgiving nature is not the problem. The problem is when that nature is used against them, by others, or by themselves. Forgiveness is powerful. So is saying, I deserve better going forward. If you are someone who always forgives, maybe you don't need to harden your heart. You don't need to become cold, or distant, or ruthless. You don't need to stop seeing the good in people. You simply need to remember that you are a person too. Your feelings are not less important than anyone else's. Your pain is not less real. Your needs are not less valid just because you understand why someone hurt you. You can be kind and still say no. You can be compassionate and still walk away. You can be forgiving and still refuse to relive the same wound. In the end, people who always forgive hold a quiet kind of power. They refuse to let bitterness be the final word. They choose to keep their hearts open in a world that gives them 100 reasons to shut down. But the most profound shift happens when they finally turn that same mercy inward. When they realize the person they've never truly forgiven is themselves. For all the times they stayed. For all the times they didn't speak up. For all the pain they minimized. And maybe the real beginning of healthy forgiveness is this simple, radical act. Forgiving yourself for the ways you abandoned yourself while trying to love others. Because when you do that, forgiveness stops being a pattern that drains you and becomes a force that transforms you. Not a way of losing yourself for others, but a way of coming back home to who you really are.